All right, let's go. Let's get after it. Let's wrap up the week with all of the nonsense going on. Thank you for hanging out. This is In Other News. I'm your host, Mike Russell. Appreciate you hanging out. It is it just writes itself each and every day. It makes it easy. And yes, Instagram, we're back. Sorry, yesterday I hit the wrong button and we were on the Go Show instead of In Other News. So I do apologize. The Democrats, they want receipts. We're going to get to that as well. Obamacare, really the hidden nonsense is being exposed and it's not good. And apparently the CIA truly is embedded with the with Hollywood, and we have proof. Again, we have the receipts. Rhonda, what up with this? Seriously. Okay, Rhonda says she's pretty sure she had a drone in her neighborhood around 9 last night. It was it one of the little bzzz, like little like high pitched bzzzies, like it was somebody's own like personal drone, or was it a big bad drone, or was it a very boxy looking drone that was going like dips down vertically, gets back, and just gets the hell out of Dodge? Let me tell you the difference. My drone kind of it's fast, you can get speedy, but you can tell it's just a personal drone. It's just pretty easy. It's got lights on it, and you tell it's a personal drone. The second kind is a real Amazon delivery drone. And again, if you're in the West Valley, we are in the test zone. So if you're in the West Valley, we're in the Amazon test zone, starting out at Tolleson, 7,000 drones, and these things are absolutely lightning fast. I mean, crazy fast. So these things, they get up, they drop down, they drop it. I think you can put it in your backyard if you choose delivery. You can get it delivered to your backyard, and then they just, it's just up and gone, and I mean way gone with a quickness. So when it's funny now that I know they're in Tolleson, I can see them, and I can see when they get back up in the air and get back up to altitude, they just poof gone, and they're setting straight due. What is that? Southeast from me. So that's it's yeah, I don't know what. So what kind of a drone was it? Was it a big one? What was it? I want to know. And like me, I think like me, Mike, have I ever brought the my drone to film? Yes, I have. I've brought my drone a couple of times when I went out to the club, and I chased beans around the hunt club. And then I also did the cool thing that you can pick you on the screen, and it'll circle you or follow you. So that's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun. I lost that in a tree. It was bigger than a personal drone, had lights on it, and it hovered for a bit, very slowly traveling north. It was east of my neighborhood. Huh. Ominous. Okay. Hmm. I mean, it might have been. I don't know. Maybe it was a. Did you see it dip down like I've seen the Amazon drones just go straight down? So yeah, on outdoor trips, no, because I'm usually on outdoor trips. I'm usually hunting. I should probably take it next time I go to the lake and paddleboard and things like that, because it's really cool. The thing just follows you. It's just absolutely wild. It will follow you. So that'll be kind of a trip to get it to land right. And but okay, all right, challenge accepted. I will take it out there and check it out. Yeah, so much fun. Like I said, I would usually just fly it about 1.5 miles away, and that's usually about its range. Never saw a dip per se. Okay, well, Rhonda, I'm telling you, yeah, just like me, I didn't have my camera ready. By the time I had my camera ready, it was gone. It was long gone. So that was it was a that made it even more ominous. Like, what the hell happened to the thing? It is gone. But now I know this is an Amazon super speedy, super speedy drone. We were talking about the Mandela effect in our last program, and there was, you guys have any examples of that? Mandela, it's so much fun. Wait, hold on. I don't. Okay, all right, Len, you're having a bad day, buddy. Len, you woke up on the wrong side of the bed there, champ. Um, I don't. Yeah, we should give a shit about a lot of things, buddy. We really should. So let's keep giving the shit, shall we? Um, but we're talking about the Mandela effect, and I don't know if you guys have any examples of it. Like it's Tony Tiger, not Tony the Tiger. It's just there's just little things that just make you doubt all reality. And I forget the example that I had that I was like, okay, I'm gonna talk about that in the next show. Doggone, I totally forgot about it. Fruit of the Loom cornucopia. Yeah, that's one of them as well. If you want to go down that rabbit hole, I mean, it'll consume your weekend, and you will literally become that person. You're gonna talk to everyone about it. You're gonna be like the person who does CrossFit. You're going to talk about the Mandela effect all the time. I mean, it is trippy though. It's like saying that Mike has never streamed with a baseball hat on. Like, of course I have a baseball hat, a trucker hat, whatever you call it, a cap on. Of course, I always do. I don't think I've ever done a show outside of the bromance that I haven't had a hat on. So, but it's that kind of stuff that just throw you for a loop. You're buying a keyboard and large light panels and doing a close encounters of the third kind. I think that's a good idea, Alfred. I think it's a good idea. Just trip people out. Just follow these drones playing that kind of music. That will seriously jack with people. And I have no problem with jacking with people. Well, it makes for good entertainment, right? People are like, oh, reporting on especially on like the neighborhood app. You know, it's going to be all over the neighborhood app. It had this ominous music playing from it. Oh, geez. I tell you this, oh God, it was one of the Family Guy scenes where Stewie said it's as bad as the job he had following fat people around with a tuba. There's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, so he just follow these things around with crazy music. Fruit of the Loom icon was the one proven YouTubers finding old labels in thrift stores, closets, etc. Even the company denied the label had differed. Okay. So what happened with it? Did the people in thrift stores, did they prove the Mandela effect wrong? That's what I would like to know. Yeah. All right, buddy. Hang in there, Lynn. Just hang in there with us. We're gonna make things all right, buddy. I'll make a fortune selling aluminum hats. Seriously, guys, let's go. Something a very successful. I hang out with some people that just say everybody's like a multimillionaire and everybody's wealthy, and that's rarely the case. But I know, man, if you have 3 planes, you're probably doing okay. So he's doing really well. And it's got a ton of toys, this and that. He always said to me, and it changed my life. When I would say like, oh gosh, this is happening or this happening or this happening, he said, well, how are we going to make money on it? If everybody's freaking out about drones, Alfred, it's a fantastic idea. Why don't we just go ahead and start selling tin hats? Just make tinfoil hats. There you go. There you guys go. Might be a fashion statement. It might be the novelty gift of the year. We'll start in 2025 selling tinfoil hats on Amazon and Etsy. I think it's a great idea. Yes. Just prove that the cornucopia did indeed exist on their labels previously. Okay, yeah, so it disproved the Mandela effect. And I think a lot of those things are going to be disproved, but it's still something that's going to send you down. Again, it's going to send you down a rabbit hole. And how would I not know that? I had Fruit of the Loom everything, man, as a kid. Those and OP corduroy shorts. I had every color of OP corduroy shorts. Yeah. They never used cornucopia. Of course they did. Let's do this. Remember yesterday where we had Jen Kondasaki saying that that they didn't approve AOC for a very high-ranking position. I mean, an insanely powerful position, and they chose an old white guy. And she was mad about this, essentially saying that this is the reason why, that we learned nothing from the election. We learned absolutely nothing. And I said, okay, you really think it's just we need younger people? That's all you think we need? We just need younger people? Really? No. Again, we elected a 78-year-old man. It's had nothing to do, and by a lot. I think that what was the final count on the popular vote? Over 6 million win. I mean, that's a landslide. Oh, tell you. And buddy, Lynn, if I could just drop in here for a second, Lynn, buddy, we're thinking about you, pal, and that's really that's what we'd like to send you. Just a lot of positive thoughts, and yeah, I miss Dad quite a bit. I hear you. I do hear you, pal. We have those days. We all have those days. So we're glad that you're here with us, and hopefully we can have some fun poking fun at people. Yeah. So stay with us, buddy. We'll see if I can lighten this up. I will actually. You know what I'll do? This will brighten your day. I'm gonna get to the Hakeem Jeffries in a minute. Let's do this. If I am not lighting my Christmas tree like this next year, either someone is really, really holding me back from doing it, and I'll point fingers at Queen Bee, but my pyro ways, my love of things lighting on fire and blowing up, makes me want to do this. This is done inside of a church. Y'all, this is the craziest thing I've seen in a hot minute. I didn't think this was possible. I am going to find out how, And you're damn right I'm lighting my Christmas tree doing this next year. This is absolutely unreal. Watch this. This is the non-political stuff that you need right now, Lynn. Just check this out. If you're a pyro like me, you're going to love this. Here you go, my friend. What? Are you seeing this? Ah! Ah! Get the fire extinguisher. Nope. Don't worry about it. All the candles on the damn tree are lit. What in the... How have I missed this? Who thought of this? Who is not a Catholic that attends Mass with one of these and did not tell me about it? I want names. Yes. Look at this little time. Oh, we got the last one. Ooh. There he is. Why? I'm ashamed. If any of you knew about this and didn't tell me, if any of you knew about this, and I'm going to kill the music here, but if anybody knew about this and didn't tell me, I am upset. Has anyone seen this before? Let me know. If this is obviously a Catholic Mass, Catholic church here, and this is Mass, maybe midnight Mass, whatever the heck it is. I don't know if that's Ellen sitting in the front. Oh no, it's not. Okay, but I mean, look at this. I need to do this. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, how many trees? Great question, Alfred. How many trees burned down? I'm challenging that it's a real tree. It might not be a real tree. I'm going to say it might not be a real tree, but it does kind of have that janky Charlie Brown vibe to it, so it might be a real tree. Or maybe they just spray it down with some fire retardant or something like that. Wow. Yeah, Scott. Yeah. Do you smell that? Yeah, fried pussycat. But anyone who has not told me that, anyone who's not told me about that, I want names. Please, I'm working on that. That video will be saved. That video will be studied, and I might burn the house down. Yep. Like pine sap is flammable, right? Yeah. Unbelievable. Yeah, but I want to do that. So that made me maybe super happy, dude. Anyway, let's get back to this. The weird reason that the Democrats think they have their finger on the pulse of really what went wrong is blowing me away, because everything they're saying tells me that they have no idea what went wrong. They had the crappiest candidate 2 times in a row, 3 times in a row, the crappiest candidate. They had to pull shenanigans to get one of them in. And again, if you go, oh, Mike's all about stolen election. Here's what Mike's about. Mike's about Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin all getting busted by their own Supreme Courts, and that every election change they made was unconstitutional. Months later. So it's like, okay, they changed the rules in the swing states, and that's what happened. And then, Rhonda, like you said, the Mandela effect. Wow, 21 million votes just went. The hell those voters go. Yeah. Again, I believe in coincidences. I've just never seen one. So they keep thinking, I got this. We got this nailed. We're going to double down on this. What they're not listening to is their bread and butter, the people that raise them money. Now, if they think that AOC is going to go have a podcast that rivals anything that Donald Trump was on, they're crazy. Absolutely crazy. She doesn't have any kind of talent for that. None. And she will be quickly exposed because her handlers won't be involved, and she'll have to talk for an hour at a time. Not going to work. It's not going to work out well. She's not going to be sitting there going, I was just listening to this horrible noise, and it was what they call a garbage disposal. Yeah, no, sorry. Here is a major Democrat bundler. Now, these fundraisers, I don't even understand this. Bundlers just, they get to the big money, and you can give money to me legally. And I can spend a whole bunch of money on the ads for you. So I'm not giving to a campaign, but I'm giving to a campaign. Here's one that is no happy.
Merry Christmas. It's wonderful to be with you.
Merry Christmas.
This has been a long time coming. My initial disillusionment became clear when I realized that they burnt essentially set $2.5 billion on fire. They raised $1.5 billion through the campaign, another $1 billion through the super PAC Future Forward. And it was
okay. Did you know that? Literally, until I heard her say that, I had no idea. So when I said they ran through $14 million a day, it's closer to $20 to $24 million a day. They burned through $2.5 billion. If you don't think that the Democrats are the biggest money laundering scheme there is, I don't, well, side of, no, it's a Ponzi scheme when I say Social Security, but yeah. Welcome everybody to the first episode of AOC's boring ass podcast. Oh, yes, from the bed because life is too exhausting podcast. Amen to that, Brendan. Amen to that. All right, let's get back to. I didn't know that they did that. I didn't know they burned through that much money.
No accountability. We still haven't gotten any answers as to why Oprah, a billionaire, got $2.5 million through her production company. Why couldn't she pay for it? She's an oligarch. She could have just paid for the production costs herself.
Now, remember when Oprah said that she didn't do it? Remember somebody went to her when she was shopping for her new land in Maui, surprisingly? They said, did you get paid? She's like, nope, I didn't get paid at all. It's not true. I didn't get paid at all. She was right. Harpo Productions did. Her company.
And not to mention the fact that they've spent $450,000 putting Kamala Harris's face on the sphere. Now tell me why that would be helpful. Tell me how that would help her win. Obviously,
I didn't know they did that. The sphere in Vegas put Kamala Harris's face on it, and they had to pay $450 large. Holy mackerel.
That was utter failure. And then they spent $500,000 essentially bribing Al Sharpton moments before he interviewed her. And this is our hard-earned money. This is the money that I worked so hard to raise. I raised millions of this, and donors are feeling burned. And let me tell you, although I might be the only one coming forward, I haven't met a single donor who disagrees with me.
So what's been the response, Lindy, since you made your announcement?
I don't know what announcement you made.
Vitriolic. And they say they're not a cult, but look at how they behave when one of their own...
She just said the C word, and I'm not talking about that C word. They're a cult. If you have a major donor bundler in your party, calling your party a cult, you are in trouble. And when she says, I have not met, no, they're not coming out, but I have not met a donor that doesn't agree with me, you are in, I mean, that's sirens going on.
To think for herself. The excommunication, the defamation, the public shaming, the boycott campaigns, the psychological terrorism. I no longer have comments on any of my social media because it's just too much. I don't need that. It's just endless. And as soon as you step out of line, they will get you.
Yeah, it's a liberal mob. We all know about this. Liberal mob, the alphabet mafia, they're all the same thing. You don't agree with them, you're going to get canceled. You say something's out of line, you say something's off the cuff, boom, you're done. And Rhonda, actually, I'll disagree with you on that because there's not Mandela at all. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this again. This probably won't be the last time I'm going to say this. Joe Biden set fire to the Democrat Party. You would have a hard time convincing me that Dr. Jill and Joseph Robinette Biden did not vote for Donald Trump. You would have a hard time convincing me. They were giddy when he came to the White House. They were gleeful when he won. They were gracious and smiling and so happy. He is the one that placed Kamala Harris into that position. 30 minutes after he sent his email that he's dropping out of the race, 30 minutes, it was around there. He started making the announcement that he is backing Kamala Harris as the nominee for the Democrat Party. And I'm going to say this very clearly, and please spread this word because I want eyes on this because it's clear when you look at it all the way through. Joe Biden, his entire career, has been looked upon as everyday Joe, blue collar Joe. I take the train to work. That was his marketing campaign. That was his brand. That kept him in office for a half a century and escalated him all the way to the VP role for 8 years. Everyday Joe. That's just Joe. Gaffin Joe. Oh, he says crazy stuff. Hey, he might be a little racist, but that's Joe. He's everyday Joe. No one respected Joe Biden. No one had any respect for Joe Biden. He was on the take most of his career, and he quite literally was never in the club. Then he had his shot as VP, never given any respect, always laughed at the gaffes, and again going, that's just everyday Joe. That's just who he is. Joe Biden was begging for relevance, begging to be a part of the club, begging for acceptance of that group. And then he was handed the presidency, or at least the nominee. We'll get into the election some other time. He was handed the nomination by the Democrat Party as a thank you, Joe, for your service. 50 years of loyal service. We know you're going to get into the White House and do exactly what we ask you to do, and you're going to sign whatever we tell you to sign. Joe Biden thought at that moment he has finally made it. He's finally in the cool kids club. He's finally in the president's circle. He has all of it. He now has the keys to the castle. They never let him in. Ever let him in. And then the moment, you remember that there was a visit by Barack Obama to the White House for the first time, and there's just, it actually made me feel bad for Joe Biden for the first time. He was like pawing at Obama, trying to get him to like, hey, I'm the president here. Why are you getting all the attention? And Barack's just kind of doing this kind of thing. They never gave him the respect that he felt he deserved and he had earned. And he was never one of the cool kids. So when they started whispering that they were going to move him out, when he got word that the desire of a Nancy Pelosi and a Chuck Schumer is for him to leave the campaign and not run for a second term, he decided to go scorched earth on this entire thing. He has done everything he can. That's why they have him completely hidden. He is not just you might talk to a reporter or two on the way to Marine One. You can't do that much damage. You're fine. Just go. They have him locked down and hidden because he has now decided to go scorched earth on the Democrat Party. And he sure did. He handed the election. I'm telling you, was appointing Kamala Harris or backing Kamala Harris right out of his announcement. He ensured that Donald Trump would get into office again. And he knows, and now he sees everything that Donald Trump is saying to do. I mean, look at what he's talking about with Canada. Look at what with Doge. I mean, come on. RFK Jr. taking on the giant industries, taking on all of their power structure and just giggling. I did this. There was a scene from Game of Thrones where one of the characters orchestrated the death of someone. I don't want to ruin it if anybody's watching it. Death of somebody. And then later on, maybe a season or two later, she looks at somebody and says, I want him to know it was me. I want her to know it was me. That's Joe Biden. Joe Biden will be on his deathbed and just look at somebody and say, I want the entire DNC to know it was me. So clear as day. When you look at it from that lens, you see now what Joe Biden's doing. Pardon his son. He doesn't care. Blanket pardons. He's not giving blanket pardons to anyone from the J6 committee. He wants them done. He's going to help the Democrats. No way he's going to help the Democrats unless somebody tells him, and those people need to right away get in Joe Biden's ear and say, please don't pardon us. That's going to make us look really bad. If you pardon us, it's going to make us look really bad, Joe. Don't do it. He'll pardon them today. And then they'll get what they want. See? Little land around there, a little Jedi mind trick there. But yeah, this is it's evidenced by the campaign that they put forward in Kamala Harris. I mean, now we know it's $2.5 billion, over $20 million a day they ran through. How do you do that? It's a blinding sum of money. And then you're 20 million in the hole when it's all done. Unbelievable. Absolutely 100% unbelievable. But the donors know. And here the Democrats are saying that they didn't run a candidate that was young enough. Wasn't cool enough to hit the podcast circuit. Here's Hakeem Jeffries doubling down on another thing that they truly believe that the U.S. is really worried about, is that we, or they, have not made transgender rights a big enough issue when transgender anything was one of the reasons why. And Truman, by the way, it's Dr. Jill. You need to say it twice because it's so important. She's that much of a doctor. Dr. Jill. Yes. Here's Hakeem Jeffries today talking about Representative Nancy Mace's legislation that would stop biological men from using biological congressmen that are identifying as congresswomen from using the Congressional Women's Bathroom. You remember this kerfuffle that no one has cared about for weeks, by the way. No one has even gave a rat's flying ass about for weeks. But here's Hakeem Jeffries thinking we care about it.
Notion that this incoming small House Republican conference majority
Not that small, champ.
is beginning to transition to the new Congress by bullying a member of Congress.
We don't care.
This
There's 430 members of 35. What is it? 425 members of Congress. No one cares. Good. One gets bullied. No one cares. Really, no one cares.
is what we're doing. This is the lesson that you've drawn from the election in November. This is your priority.
I love this. I love this. Look at this, just the arrogance in the just, I know, I got him. That's right. I got him in the corner now. Oh, I got him. 435. Thanks, Ron. That's what I got him now. Look at, I got him. I got these Republicans on the ropes right now. I'm going to call them bullies. I'm going to say they're bullying a transgender congresswoman. America does not care. America doesn't care. Not at all.
Bully a member of Congress as opposed to welcoming her to join this body so that all of us can work together to get things done.
Yeah, why don't you? This is what. So America looks at Democrats and say, "Okay, why don't you guys just get over and get to work then?" Okay, who cares? Go. I'm sorry, her feelings were hurt. I don't know their pronouns. I'm sorry they were hurt. Okay, move on. And by the way, I don't want anyone that sensitive making any laws for my nation.
And deliver real results for the American people.
Real results.
It causes you to have to ask.
Because you guys did when you're in power, didn't you? Real results. Loved $4 gallon gas. It was so much fun.
Ask the question, what was all the rhetoric about over the last several months?
It was about you guys not doing your job and us coming in and saying, okay, you guys are done. You're fired.
On the campaign trail. Did you lie to the American people? Are you really focused on solving problems for the American people? Are you really focused on lowering costs? Addressing the high cost of living? Are you really focused on housing prices?
Yep. And by the way, we can do both. We can do both. We housing prices don't anything. We need to be making everyday life more affordable. What have you done in the past 4 years, you bozos?
Apparently not. Are you really focused on grocery prices? Apparently not. Are you focused as Republicans on building a healthy economy? Apparently you are not. We will not hesitate to call that out.
The entire nation looks at Hakeem Jeffries at one time and goes, what the hell is he talking about? You see, wonks like us, non-casual news consumers, I mean news consumers like us, we know what the hell is here. We know exactly what he's talking about. The vast majority of the nation has no idea that Nancy Mace was having a beef with a transgender female congresswoman. I guess that's kind of, a transgender biological male congresswoman. That's what I'll say. Has no idea. So here's Hakeem Jeffries flexing like he knows now. They got the key. They know exactly why they lost the election. No big deal. We're going to crush it in the midterms if we just stay on this transgender rights nonsense. No one cares.
Every time they lean into their far-right extremism and ignore the things that the American people want us as members of Congress to focus on.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I would, I think, as a female, be a little uncomfortable if a human with with male genitalia came into the bathroom with me. I would be a little nervous. I really, really would. So, okay. So I guess if that's their sole focus, I hope they get that done quickly and then move on to something else. I'm speaking for America. And I love that Hakeem, just the swagger, the arrogance. He is dead set that they will lose, that the Republicans will lose the House in midterms, and he's going to be the Speaker of the House. Hell no. That guy might be 16 years till that guy becomes Speaker of the House. But he is. I'll give Hakeem this. Hakeem is told, this is what you say. This is how you say it. And he knocks the damn ball out of the park every single time. He is, I mean, he's Clinton-esque. He's Reagan-esque. He's, when it comes to just basically saying the words that you're supposed to say. Problem is, Reagan and Clinton actually wrote a lot of the things that they said. Let's see. Enumerated powers, spoiler. Yeah, exactly. Nothing's there. It's a giant nothing burger. But I think this is too much fun. You have the bundlers are going, y'all ran through $2.5 billion and delivered what? An electoral landslide and a popular vote landslide? And magically the 20 million votes that you conjured up to beat Trump the last time disappeared? And we spent $2.5 billion on that. I did see, and I don't know who the guy was. That's why I really didn't have the time to really research who the hell this guy was. But he was on stage, Democrat guy, Obama, he's just a complete Obama file. And he said that Obama was the political loser of 2024 because he had been reduced by the Democrat Party during this campaign to a guy who just goes to random places and tells obnoxious lies. Obnoxious lies. Democracy is a stake. Trump will never leave office. Please, knock it off. And we know you killed your chef. Move on. Dude, seriously. Obama's done. He's done. He'll run around and he'll probably have, Netflix board positions and things like that. And that's, hey, by the way, this is part and parcel to being the next president. And he was young enough. He can cash in the rest of his life. That's fine. The guy holds no weight electorally anymore. He was there. I mean, he was their big gun. We now have Barack Obama on the campaign trail for Kamala Harris. Don't work. We had Eminem introduce him. For the love of God, Marshall Mathers introduced him. Paid well. Yeah, rolled out the profile field. That? What? Oh, my goodness. What was this? The pronoun field, right? That. Wow. Rooted from the line, top page, because it was apparently being offensive. Let's see what we got here. I just trying. You guys are going on my little rant there. I apologize. I like your pronouns are medium rare. The, she, and it. This is what Queen Bee says. She goes, the, she, and it. You guys will get it. Don't worry about it. Yeah. IG. It that really? I didn't know there was the they, them, all that. I can't deal with. I will deal with pronouns some other time. Let's get back to this stuff. Okay. Hakeem Jeffries, obviously, wonderfully, beautifully articulating exactly what he's supposed to say. The DNC, again, we got this. We know exactly what we need to do. We know exactly why we're having problems. We know exactly what's wrong. We know exactly why we lost that election. And they don't. They truly don't. Oh, this is, I just keep not knowing is absolutely fantastic. There's been some, I don't know why this is coming back up, but it is enjoying. I enjoy it very much. Because I've said, and I think it was Don Jr. that floated the idea several years ago that the border wall would cost less than the Obamacare website. Close. The number's close. And the media just went apoplectic. And they, every which way they could say, oh, it only costs $200 million. It only costs $250 million. Huh? We're supposed to say $250 million for a website is a good deal. And they were saying as if it's a good deal. No, it doesn't cost $2 billion. No, it's going to cost $5 billion. It's only going to cost $200 million. Let me give you the actual numbers here. Let me go way back in the Wayback Machine. Reuters called it a fabricated Tim Allen quote on Obamacare website costing billions of dollars that was regurgitated by Trump Jr. and the president himself. Okay. Then we got, let's see here. National Journal says Obamacare website will cost $840 million, not the billions of dollars, right? Keep going. We're just going to keep on going here. Washington Post, Eric Trump's for Pinocchio claim that Obamacare, okay, so it was Eric, that Obamacare will cost more than Trump's wall. And then Snopes, Did Obamacare website cost $5 billion? The claim is false. And here again is now we go to Yahoo Finance. Obamacare website costs balloon to $2.5 billion. Bloomberg. Obamacare website costs exceed $2 billion, and that was back in 2014. That was the projected. It says enrollment system has cost about $2.1 billion so far, according to Bloomberg government analysts and contracts related to the program. Billion. Y'all ever build a website? I can do it for you for $100. Absolutely blown away by this. So let's keep going here. Then this showed up, which is interesting. This is from Wayback Machine. So this is when the Obamacare site launched. Check this out. This is a trip, guys. Check this out.
Evening. For 31 days now, the Obama administration has been telling us that Americans by the millions are visiting the new health insurance website despite all of its problems. But no one in the administration has been willing to tell us how many policies have been purchased, and this may be the reason. CBS News has learned enrollments got off to an incredibly slow start. Cheryl Atkinson obtained documents that haven't been seen by the public until now.
This is awesome.
Early enrollment figures are contained in notes from twice-a-day war room meetings convened within the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services after the website failed on October 1st.
Yep.
They were turned over in response to a document request from the House Oversight Committee. The website launched on Tuesday. Publicly, the government said there were 4.7 million unique
4.7 million unique visits. And that's what you want. You want unique visits. You don't want the same IP addresses coming over and over and over and getting you hits on your website, right? So we're talking about 4.7 million unique visits on the first day.
Visits in the first 24 hours.
Look at this.
But at a meeting Wednesday morning,
6
the
enrolled.
War Room notes say 6 enrollments have occurred so far.
Quite literally. I can't say literally. I apologize. The overuse of the word literally is figuratively driving me insane. This is statistically impossible to have 4.7 million hits to anything and have 6 people actually buy the product or enroll.
We're with Blue Cross, Blue Shield, North Carolina, and Kansas City, CareSource, and Healthcare Service Corporation. By Wednesday afternoon, enrollments were up to approximately 100.
We had 100.
By the end of Wednesday, the notes reflect 248 enrollments nationwide. The healthcare exchanges need to average 39,000 enrollees a day to
39,000. This was their goal was 39,000 a day, and they started with 6, and now they're up to 248.
meet the goal of 7 million by March 1st. The War Room notes give a glimpse into some of the reasons customers had problems. Direct enrollment, signing up directly on an insurer's website, is not working for any issuers. Experian Credit Reporting Agency is creating confusion with credit check information.
Do you think some of the $2 billion that they spent would go into, like, I don't know, like focus groups of people using, like user experiences and reviews? I don't know. Call me crazy. Go ahead and call me crazy in the comments if you want to. But I think that $2.5 billion. If I had a $2.5 billion budget to make a great website, the greatest website in history, okay, I would have a lot of focus groups. A lot of focus. You don't have to pay those people. People don't focus groups. You don't have to pay much at all.
Issuer phone numbers are not appearing correctly on the Pay Now page. The notes leave no doubt that the enrollment figures, which the administration has chosen to keep secret, are available.
Surprising.
Statistics coming in, say notes from the very first meeting the morning of October 2nd. Contractor QSSI has a daily dashboard created every night.
Oh, okay, nice.
But head of CMS, Marilyn Tavenner, wouldn't disclose the figures when Dave Camp, chair of the House Ways and Means Committee, asked earlier this week.
I mean, how do you not know how many people have enrolled?
Chairman Camp, we will have those numbers available in mid-November.
Yep. You're right, Truman.
Health and Human Services today told us it's in no position to confirm or discuss enrollment figures because it doesn't have any. A spokesman suggested that enrollment was always expected to start very slowly and then skyrocket as the deadline approaches, Scott.
Sure. Okay, Truman, that's right. Do you notice you don't see her around anymore? Mm-hmm. That's why. That's why. Oh, there's no deep state. There's no, they don't cover anything up. No. It's funny how many people's careers just go away, and they just go away magically, like an Obama chef, just gone, drown in 3 feet of water. A key item to note is that the administration, Atkinson's last bit of reporting there, the administration claimed that it would ramp up towards the deadline. The reason why what they didn't want to tell you, and that was very correct, by the way, they knew that, and they said, okay, hey, listen, by the deadline of, I think it was December 30th, by the deadline, we are going to be up to that 39,000 a day that we were talking about. Here's why. And again, this is what broke the dam. Not that report, but broke the dam in okay, now everybody's got to run to the Obamacare website. Remember you like your doctor, you can keep them. You like your insurance policy, you can keep it. It's just an exchange for people with new policies. Nope. Because in Obamacare, most of the policies that people had were ineligible for anything. They were gone. The Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna, all of them had to get rid of those policies. So your policy was gone. And when you realized you had no insurance, so you got that letter in the mail from Aetna or Blue Cross or Cigna or whoever it was, it would say your policy is no longer available. Here's a new policy, and it's twice as much. And then people had to go to Obamacare to sign up. Or they'd say, just go over to the Obamacare, get a similar program for a similar price. I went when iHeart bounced me. I went to the exchange. I was like, okay, I need some, damn insurance here. So let me go check this out. It ain't easy to navigate. 1, 2, they're like, how much money are you going to make this year? I'm like, oh, hell if I know. I don't have a gig yet. I don't. This is right when I left iHeart. I was like, I don't know. And I had to put a guesstimate in there. And they say, okay, here's how much we're going to give you to subsidize. And it was still unaffordable. Even though I said a very low amount what I would make this year, still they were like, you're still going to have to pay a lot for insurance. And then they say, if tax records show that you made more than that, you are going to owe us XYZ. The hell would I want? Wayne, hell, I'm signing up to the exchange. What the hell is that? And then I saw a commercial during one of the, I think it was one of the MLB games or one of the early football games that was talking about the me and my husband didn't think too much about insurance until we had 3 children. And it says the pays $0 a month. So-and-so and so-and-so pays $0 a month. I'm like, how the hell is that possible? Pay $0 a month. Oh, absolutely crazy. Yeah, but what do you know? It's absolutely crazy. All right, let's get moving on here. Thanks for being here. This is In Other News. Hope you have a great weekend planned. It's going to be beautiful out here in the Valley of the Sun. If you're local, you're going to be loving it. A lot going on. Let's do a little snow dance if we can, and maybe we can get some snow up in the high country, which we desperately need it. So see if we can will that to happen or pray for that to happen. Whichever force you choose, let's make this happen. And unless you are a Jedi and you actually have the force, let's get up there and make some snow. Yeah, all right. Or if you have a Snoopy snow cone machine, let's get up there and make things happen. Let's get Snowball opened up. The fear of COVID. I talk about COVID a lot because I never want anyone to forget what the hell they did to us. I know I have people right here watching me right now that have lost businesses, that were not able to say goodbye to loved ones, and were just changed forever because of this giant nonsense that we went through. Again, yes, I do know COVID bad. COVID did kill people. I get it. I'm not saying it didn't. The government response was one of the most Orwellian things I've ever seen in my life. Alfred says, do the snow twerk dance. Do a little snow twerk. If I could twerk, brother, I would do it. But unfortunately, in my family, we just did, like Nuge and I, there's no booty to twerk with. Yeah, it's just, anyway. The real damage is just being felt, both in problems with the vax, problems in education. Intern Sarah is a 6th grade teacher, 6th grade reading teacher. a good portion of her students are reading at a third grade level. Sixth grade reading teacher. Students reading at a third grade level. And then there are the grown asset humans that just will not let go, that now live to no fault of their own, literally in COVID fear, in absolute COVID fear. And when I say no fault of their own, this was induced by the media and the government. This paranoia of the virus. This might be the craziest thing you see in a hot minute. Check this out.
I'm Amanda, and come with me as 80 of my COVID cautious friends go bowling in Portland, Oregon.
Cautious friends. I mean, I get you. When you hear Portland, Oregon, I know you get a lot of it. My COVID cautious friends. This is not COVID cautious. This is a mental disorder that was brought on by the media and the government. Period.
We were super thrilled to have Kingpins open before hours for us and agree to masks. We had about 80 people, including kids of all ages. And
so they rented out the whole place. They have a bunch of people there, all of them wearing masks. And the Kingpin employees had to wear masks.
Adults come out and join us this morning from 9 to 10:30. Check out those Aranet numbers.
Check out those Aranet numbers. Okay.
That's because we had purifiers up the ass. We also had...
That's not how you do it. I don't think that's how you do air purifiers. Maybe that's why they have COVID fears, because they put the air purifiers... Never mind. Okay.
This adult-only section that was really great.
Oh, adult-only section. Welcome to the stage. COVID night. No.
Here are a bunch of adults who are in a separate area away from the kids. And but we had tons of kids, and they were all having a great time. There were ball ramps. It was completely accessible. We were able
did you go down and see? Okay.
To accommodate people who needed extra space or specific conditions. We were really well spread out here. And
what you clapping for that? What are you clapping for that gutter ball for? Go teach a kid how to bowl.
Bumpers that come up for individual bowlers. It's a completely new world. And this really charming bowler was explaining that you can't hear her because of the mask and the noise, how she hasn't been bowling in years, and she doesn't, and her brother don't get to do this sort of thing all that often.
And she showed me the nails she got done
at the Manny Petty event we did on Friday.
Oh, they did a Manny Petty event where they terrorized people that do Manny Petties.
Saying the same thing, but a little bit more sullenly because
you can't hear them because they're not able to express themselves because you're making them wear masks. Do you not say, oh, this beautiful bowler here who has an autoimmune disease and is, this blank, go. Nope. Just got to do our Manny Petty event.
Yeah, and more bowling. Sometimes people were better than others. This guy was a real spoiler because there's always got to be one. And everybody just had this fantastic time, and it was amazing. And the employees were all totally okay masking for us.
Okay. I didn't play that to judge anyone or to shame anyone. I know I get a little fired up when they're, the kids are saying this. I know you can't hear them because they're wearing masks, but this is what they're saying. They didn't do this themselves. They did this. We did this to them. We, the people, voted in power-hungry pieces of garbage that did this. We approved because we were so panicked that we were attacked by terrorists that we gleefully cheered for the Patriot Act that gave emergency powers to idiots that did this. If remember, I'll try to pull up the montage. Maybe from Monday. But the montage of Anderson Cooper 360 brought to you by Pfizer. Good Morning America is brought to you by Pfizer. This CBS Good Morning is brought to you by Pfizer. We watched this happen, and this is the fallout from that. And this ain't going away. This is not going away. They know now to push that button. There's a fear button and a panic button that they get to move with purpose. I'm going to play a quick little clip for you, and then I'm going to move on to what Doge is about to do. But I want to cover these two topics real quickly here because there was an old clip of Claire Danes on with Stephen Colbert. and I usually wouldn't watch it because whatever, hose both of them. But she had a very popular TV show about basically the war on terror and, spy networks all around. And Stephen Colbert wanted to ask her about that. I think it's Stephen Colbert. I want you to watch how quickly, on last show was 100. Correct, Chris. Yes. Excuse me. I want to see how quickly Stephen Colbert changes the subject when she is mid-sentence talking about how embedded the CIA is in our media.
Now, one of the things that you do you do this every season where you go get to spend some time with some actual spies?
We do. It's like the coolest part of my job.
Who sets that up? Who calls the CIA and goes, we just like to come in and hang out with you guys?
Yeah, so Henry Bermel, who is one of our founding fathers of Homeland, one of our writers, passed away a number of years ago, but his dad was in the CIA, and his cousin was a mentee of his father's and was also in the CIA, a very accomplished person there. And he recently retired, but in his retirement, he curates this week-long spy camp for us producers and writers. And
really?
Yeah.
Is it like, you
know?
know?
So we park ourselves in a club in Georgetown and talk to, like, real spooks. And, people in the intelligence community and the State Department and journalists and people who really...
What do they tell you that, like, what's the most surprising thing that they've told you about their jobs or something you would need to know?
Well, every year it's different, right? We've been at it for a while, and the climate has changed. But this year it was all about, the distrust between the administration and the intelligence world, and the intelligence community was suddenly kind of allying itself with journalists.
There, she said it. The intelligence community was allying itself with journalists. You heard it now. You heard it. It's right there. It's right there. Watch Colbert.
Usually they're not.
How long ago did you start shooting this season?
Look at him. Look at him. He's somebody like, cut it now. Stop it. And he's like, hey, how long have you worn black tops? How long did you gone? She was getting to the most interesting part of her answer. And as an interviewer, he just moved it because he had to. And the intelligence community was suddenly kind of allying itself with journalists, which usually they're not.
How long ago did you start shooting this season?
That's what happens when you say the quiet part out loud, especially to a sellout piece of garbage like Stephen Colbert. Man. Yeah. That's the oops moment. You're right. Yeah, that's the we can't let her say that. Don't let her say that. Don't let her say that. That, by the way, is the reason why Rob and I got tore up all the time. Why don't you guys take callers? Why don't you guys take callers? Because of that. I don't want somebody saying something absolutely loony on my show. I've worked too hard for my show to have somebody say something absolutely loony like that. Okay, let's get to one of the most intelligent economic minds of our time, talking about why government spends so much and why we need an Elon Musk. Check this out.
You can spend your own money on yourself. And when you spend your own money on yourself, you're very careful of what you spend it on, and you make sure that you get the most for your dollar. You can spend your own money on somebody else. You give gifts to other people. You take people out to dinner. And when you spend your own money on somebody else, you're very careful that you don't spend too much. You try to keep down the amount you spend. But you don't worry very much about what the other fellow's getting from it. You don't pay anything like as much attention to the gifts you buy for other people as to the things you buy for yourself. Or you can spend somebody else's money, as when you're spending the government's money. I say the government's money, the taxpayers' money, which the government has control over. Now you're spending somebody else's money. Let's say you're spending your boss's money. You're out to lunch on an expense account, but you're spending it on yourself. You're very careful that you get good things for your money. You try to have a good lunch and pick the right things, but you're not very much worried about whether you get the cheapest. Spend all you want, and you'll be careless. Now, what happens when you spend somebody else's money on somebody else? You're a distributor of welfare funds.
Yeah, you don't care.
Well, you're interested in making your own life as good as you can, and most people have humane instincts and want to do the best they can, but you're not going to be anything like as careful in spending somebody else's money on somebody else. So there are 4 ways in which you can spend money.
That's right. That makes total sense. That's why, look, that's why credit card debt is so high, because people are like, oh, it's on a credit card. No big deal. It's on a credit card. Just put it on the credit card. You're not taking anything out of your own account yet. You're just, man, it's on a credit card. It's essentially someone else's money at the time, and it is. It literally is somebody else's money. It's another company's money. God, did you hear that Visa was running at a 51% profit margin? 51. And that's sponsoring stadiums and huge ad campaigns and just big buildings. Still, 51%. Damn. Ooh, my small business peeps, you know that this is just blinding. So blinding. But anyway, that's the reason. The government is literally spending our money and doesn't care. It's actually spending our great-grandkids' money at this point. And they don't care. Trillions of dollars, no big deal. 50 billion here ain't no big thing. Oh, the Pentagon can't pass an audit. It's not waste and fraud. Ugh, gosh. Anyway, hey, y'all, I really hope, Lynn, I hope you're doing better, buddy. I hope you have a good weekend. Just, tune it out, turn it off if you need to, and just go have some fun outside, play outdoors, take a walk around the block, take a stroll around the block, push yourself around the block, whatever, whatever mobility you choose. Go for a ride, do something, enjoy the weather. And this is the few weeks we have of actual winter here in Arizona. So enjoy it and have a great weekend. And we will see you Monday right here on In Other News. You guys